was born to live, live to ride, ride to live. I was born to ride. American built, we forever unite. Yeah, that's the deal. I was born to ride. Out of Tampa to Miami, Daytona, Tallahassee, from the East Coast to the West Side, here in Florida, we were born to ride. I was born to live, live to ride, ride to live. I was born to ride. American built, we forever unite. And that's the deal. I was born to ride.
When do you crave refreshing iced tea? Twisted Tea wants to know. The next time you want that same satisfying refreshment, but with a kick, grab a Twisted Tea. Twisted Tea, the refreshing hard iced tea that tastes like real iced tea with a kick.
Thanks for tuning in to Born to Ride TV. This week, it's Game Over Cycles. The unbelievable tattooed motorcycle, the Recidivist, comes to life. All this and more here on Born to Ride TV.
I'm Kevin Mack from Counting Cars on the History Channel.
I'm Danny, a.k.a. the Count Coker, and you are watching Born to Ride TV. Stay tuned!
Oh, yeah.
The idea of creating a motorcycle covered with real tattoos came to me about 10 years ago. I'm tattooed myself, and I think people have tattoos in order to express their character, just as they paint their motorcycles in a way fitting to who they are and what they like. Some people like skulls, others like flames, and they show that through their bikes. It's been known for a long time that leather can be tattooed, so one day I thought, why not? Let's cover the whole bike in leather and ink it. The bike's concept relates to a long-standing biker tradition. In the turbulent post-war era in America, many bikers led a life on the edge of the law. That's why we called this bike the Recidivist. It was supposed to be completely covered in tattoos and look like a living creature, a person with very strong character who values individuality and a sense of freedom. To give this bike a very specific old-school style, we had to create the frame from scratch. To relate the bike's construction to the original idea, we couldn't make just a regular frame, so we made it to resemble the shape of the human spine, which nicely fits with the tattoos covering the human body. All these things then had to be fit into the design of the fuel tank. The challenge was to have a modern fuel injection engine with a computer, but have it still look like an old-school bike with a carburetor. We had to find a way to hide all the electronics, cables, computer, fuel pump, and everything else.
Żeby zrobić taki zbiornik, który pasuje do tego motocykla,
In order to create the tricky fuel tank, we started by forming it out of styrofoam. This was a much better option than first building it in metal, as metal is much more difficult to work with. We fit it to the bike in a 1-to-1 scale. Then we looked at it from all possible angles and evaluated how it all fit and looked. Once the styrofoam tank was ready, we moved on to another material, wood. With wood, we could create a form that could be put into the final steel rendition. So we cut the styrofoam into small pieces, replicated the shapes in wood, polished it all up, and made one side of a fuel tank, then mirrored that, which eventually gave us the completed tank. One part of the tank is for fuel, while the other part is where you installed all the electronics, maintaining the overall look of a traditional fuel tank.
Don't miss Born to Ride Lifestyle Magazine, exclusive online at borntoride.com. See the Recidivist Game Over Cycles tattoo masterpiece, extended feature, plus the girls of the Recidivist, AIM Expo, and the girls of Born to Ride, and more, only at borntoride.com.
Find us on Facebook, Born to Ride TV and magazine, the ultimate multimedia biker experience. Now you can take Born to Ride everywhere and anywhere. The new Born to Ride mobile app is ready for you to download. There's more multimedia, more information, more Born to Ride like never before.
Hey, I'm Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. You're watching Born to Ride TV. Oh, yeah.
Born to Ride magazine, the hottest, baddest, most popular magazine for the biker lifestyle. Hard-hitting, action-packed, up-to-date, real content, exclusive stories and interviews that always leave you wanting more. Local and national coverage that you can always count on. Born to Ride magazine can now be delivered directly to your door. Only $39.95 for 12 issues. Act now. Act now, and the first 100 orders receive free. The best of Born to Ride TV Volume 1 DVD. Order now. Order now. 888-795-5779 or check out BornToRide.com.
Born to Ride. Everyone was right, I was born to ride.
Born to Ride is a multimedia marketing and promotional machine with TV, magazines, streaming radio, and internet advertising opportunities. There are tens of thousands of motorcycles. We reach the people who ride them. Born to Ride. Find out more at BornToRide.com.
In the next stage, we covered the whole bike and elements related to the criminal underworld. We started with the gear shift, which is an infamous suicide shifter made from a crowbar. The clutch and brake levers are formed in the shape of butterfly knives. The brake pump lever is in the shape of a symbol used in legal code. The front brake calipers look like handcuffs. We drew them in a 1-to-1 scale. Then we designed it on a computer and put it into a CNC milling machine, which milled the calipers out of aluminum. The ready part looked like brand new, but we treated it with a burner and basically destroyed it so that it would look old. This was done on purpose because the bike is supposed to look like it already has a rap sheet. The bike's front suspension looks like a traditional old-school coil tattoo machine. We didn't want to cover it with anything, so we took 2 pistons and wrapped them with copper wire, imitating coils from a traditional machine. Inside there are pistons, springs, even hardness regulation. But we had to fit it in a way so that its looks would resemble that of a traditional coil tattoo machine, while being a fully operational trapezoidal bike frame. Other themed elements of this bike are the knuckle duster, which functions as the rear lamp, and the Kickstarter, which is in the shape of a bomb detonator. The icing on the cake is the exhaust pipe, which not only looks exactly like a Cheyenne brand tattoo machine, but also works the same way. The pipes contain tattooing needles, and when you start the bike, the exhaust fumes make the needles mimic those of a tattoo machine. When we started covering the bike with leather, I realized just how large an area I'd have to tattoo. It would be impossible to be done by one person, so I invited 2 artists from 2 Polish tattoo studios and a representative from Cheyenne, which makes very modern, I'd say even futuristic tattoo machines. This suited the bike perfectly, and some of those machines were even used to make parts for the bike.
When we heard about the idea of building a motorcycle that should combine the 2 worlds of tattooing and biking, we were directly interested in this project. And the fact that the bike will get tattoos on its leather skin made it perfect for us. When I saw the bike for the first time at GOC in Poland, I was speechless for a couple of minutes, and we started with the first conversations about the bike, the to-dos, the further process very quickly, but I tried to sneak away in every free minute to get back to the bike and just look on it. It wasn't finished at that time, but there were already a lot of small details on it, and from that point we were sure that it will be a great project, great bike and a great piece of art.
We are very proud to be part of the Cheyenne Bike project, and we want to thank Game Over Cycles for giving us the chance to get involved.
Do you get our monthly exclusive newsletter? Sign up at borntoride.com and get on our mailing list today.
Choice in American motorcycles is here. Introducing the all-new Indian Chief, starting at $18,999.
Indian Motorcycle, Panama City.
Hey, this is The Undertaker, and you're watching Born to Ride.
Motorcycle Listings. Sell or find your next motorcycle at MotoListings.com. Motorcycle Listings at MotoListings.com.
Find us on Facebook, Born to Ride TV and Magazine, the ultimate multimedia biker experience.
Hey, Dale here from the Time Machine. We're talking about old Henderson motorcycles today, and one extremely old Henderson that I'm sitting on. Kind of an unknown, either 1918 or 19 Henderson prototype. It's a Model Z, and certainly the most amazing thing about this motorcycle is its condition, its originality, and its prototype features that no other Henderson world has. My good friend Steve Leopold said this is the rarest bike he got in the whole museum, and I don't know if that's true, but it's certainly one of the top machines here in perfect running condition. Found this bike under an old oak tree at the swap meet in Wasion, Ohio, probably about 10, 12 years ago. Had a lot of fun with it. I've always really kind of dreamed about the Henderson motorcycle. Recently found a 1913 engine, found Mike Smith in a chassis and built that motorcycle. Of course, here at Wheels Through Time, the history of Henderson actually predates Henderson. One of the oldest four-cylinder machines in the country, 1909 Pierce. Steve McQueen owned that motorcycle. This machine, extremely rare. Can't forget my 17 Henderson. Love that bike. Rode it from Los Angeles to New York in 1997. This bike is such an outstanding machine, though, that I'm just going to drive it today. You know, in 1911, Ignace Schwinn bought the Excelsior Motorcycle Company, and of course, in late 1917, Ignace Schwinn bought from the Henderson brothers the Henderson Company, moved it from Detroit to Chicago, employed the Henderson brothers actually for, I think they had a 5-year contract. The Henderson brothers didn't stick around because they moved on to Philadelphia to build the famous bike called the Ace, and of course a lot of people call Ace the Duesenberg of American motorcycles. But the Henderson prototype at hand surely was worked on by the Henderson brothers in the Schwinn factory. It is such a unique motorcycle, having features that no Henderson in the world has. It has valve enclosures that are extremely cool. We're going to start this bike up in a little bit and watch those rocker arms work. Of course, on 1918 and actually 19 and earlier, the open rockers were kind of troublesome for Henderson, gathering dirt and dust and water, having to oil them by hand. These you would have to oil by hand, but with the little covers on it, keeps the dirt and the dust out. The Henderson engine is actually a little car engine, 4 cylinders. It has a multi-plate clutch and a 3-speed transmission, and a crankcase very much like an automobile. And of course, these motors were made to use some oil. What this Henderson has is an auxiliary oil pump that no other Henderson in the world has. Located on the left tank, you can add a charge of oil directly to the crankcase, and truly unique. The bike itself, so incredibly original. Original paint throughout, and everything matches on this bike. From the Excelsior logo on the front fender to this beautiful Henderson decal on the tank. The rear fender, equally as cool. Fully accessorized, very unusual in 18 or 19. Press-to-light gas headlight. It's actually press-to-light as acetylene, makes a white glow. Tail light as well. Speedometer, 3,400 miles is what the speedometer says. Of course, I wasn't born in 1918, wasn't with this bike all the time, but I believe the bike to be true to that fact. Cool horn, painted to match. So all the accessories on this bike are painted from the factory and original. Truly one of the most outstanding original motorcycles in the world. Well, you know, I could talk about a Henderson motorcycle all day long, but we only got a few minutes. I guess it's time to go for a ride. Let me show you how to start this thing. You know, the 4-cylinder Henderson is such an easy bike to operate. Starting procedure so simple, and 4-cylinder bikes, they always start easy. Fuel shut off right here. Choke, about half on this bike, and then all it takes is one kick. Well, another great day at Wheels Through Time. Ride my favorite old things right here on the property. Got our beautiful river and our buddies, the ducks, down there. And God, I love this 18 Henderson. Truly, it is one of the best survivors of any kind in the world. Certainly the best 1918-19 Henderson in the world. We'll catch you later on the time machine.
Don't miss Born to Ride Lifestyle Magazine, exclusive online at borntoride.com. See the Recidivist Game Over Cycles tattoo masterpiece, extended feature, plus the girls of the Recidivist, AIM Expo, and the girls of Born to Ride, and more, only at borntoride.com.
You're invited Sunday, November the 22nd, for Born to Ride's 20th year anniversary party at Harley-Davidson of Brandon. There'll be a 10-class bike show and much more to come. Live in concert is Sobriety X, and Jeff Vitolo and the Quarter Mile Rebels. Special thanks to 866 Law Fran.
Saturday, October 31st and Sunday, November 1st, meet the legendary Jean Davidson and her son John at Crystal Harley-Davidson. Get a copy of her book and she will sign it for you. Live music, food, and Harley-Davidson motorcycles, merchandise, and more. Don't miss this great event at Crystal Harley-Davidson.
In total, to build this bike, it took over 3,000 man-hours, and the tattooing itself lasted over 250 hours. I like new challenges. I like to face things which at the start seem impossible or very difficult to do. And this project was that kind of challenge. Working on this bike was a cool experience and a learning process. Both of us complement each other on doing it together. We tried various techniques on how to apply ink on such a raw and hard material as leather. It's not the same as with human skin. The tattooing of this bike is as important as tattooing a client's skin, because in each case, you only do it once. The whole bike is covered in over 4 square meters of tattooed leather. All the tattoos are coherent and relate to the criminal theme. There's only one tattoo which doesn't really suit the bike. It's a card with a piece of H.R. Geiger's art placed on the fuel tank. It was very important to me to have it on the bike because Geiger is an artist who inspires me when I build my bikes. That means a lot to me. To stress the bike's uniqueness even more, we chose the prestigious tattoo convention in London as the location for its unveiling.
Ostatni, największy.
The last and the biggest tattoo shows Themis sitting on an electric chair. We decided to tattoo it live during the London show. It took more than 40 hours over 2 days for 2 tattoo artists to make it, but this way the audience could see how hard it was.
I'll tell a few words about the bike, but I think it would be the best to do it when you actually see it, so I'm not gonna ask Sasha and the guys to uncover it. We cannot start the bike here, but if we started the bike, the needles are actually moving just like in a tattoo machine.
Lots of people gathered around our stand. Event visitors, media reporters, even other tattoo artists who were doing tattoos during the event. Everybody was amazed. It was sort of a sensation. Of course, there were artists from all over the world and a large number of amazing tattoos, but a tattooed bike, being tattooed live on stage, this was the only one. Shortly after that, the buzz around the bike began. The press started writing about it. The bike got featured on the covers of Bike, Tattoo, and daily magazines all over the world. There are thousands of photos on the internet and a number of TV news reports. The Recidivist is the world's first tattooed motorcycle, so I think the buzz around it has only just begun.